Okay, now that we have our sorting and grouping added in, we're going to add some totals and subtotals to our amount paid and current due columns. Very simple process for that. If you just click on the first amount in your column, you'll select that whole column there. And then what we're going to do now is we want to add up, based on the cities, we're going to total up the amount of revenue, I guess it would be, generated from each of those cities, and then a grand total at the bottom. So with the column selected, you go on the Format tab and click on Totals, and this gives you the different values you can use, or different functions you can use in that. And we're going to use the Sum function, so go ahead and click on Sum, and Access does it all for you there. It adds up all of these values into subtotals, and then has a grand total at the bottom there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for current due, so click on the first value here. Click Totals, hit Sum. We'll do this a few times here in this chapter. Okay, and then it adds up the total amounts due there. The next thing we want to do here, if you're following along, it's on Access, page 249, is we're going to resize the columns. The city column here is too small. It's not fitting the whole city name in. So we want to make it bigger. So click on the heading there, City. You can see the little orange box that goes around it. Hover over the right border. Click and hold and drag that over, and you'll resize that out. You need to go a little more, and there we go. Now all of my cities fit in that column. Okay, pretty simple process there. We could shrink down the client number, some of these other things. We're not going to do that for now. The next thing we're going to do is add a conditional format to our controls here, to our amount paid, or actually, let's see, to our current due. We want something to highlight, something to bring up, stand out. When there's an amount due, we want it to stand out a little bit, so that we know, okay, that's a client we need to be talking to go collect our money. So what we want to do here, we're going to go ahead and again select the whole column, okay, and then we're going to click up here on the conditional button, okay. Click on that, and here's where we can set our conditional formatting. Basically, our condition is if the field value in the column we've selected, right, is greater than 0, then apply the format we're going to choose down here. And the format we're going to choose is this text color, or this text color of this dark red. Click that, and you can see what it looks like in there. So we're going to say if the value in the field is greater than 0, apply this format. You hit OK, and you can see now the values that are over 0 have turned red. Okay? And that's as easy as it is to add conditional formatting in there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do, is how to filter out some records, or filter the records down. What I want you to do is go ahead and right click on the second value here. Now I had you click on the first value each time. You can really click on any value to select the column. So we're going to right click on the second value here, and here you can see there's a place for filters. We can add a number filter, we could say specifically what that is, and then there's some standard ones here. So we're going to say does not equal 0. So we're going to get rid of every client on this list whose amount paid is 0. We're only going to show those whose amount paid is not 0. So we click that, and you can see now it only shows the people who have paid something. So now it's a list of clients by city who have made payments. Okay, and then lastly here for this report, we're going to show you how to clear it. So again, just right click on any value there, and then right here you have clear filter from amount paid. Click on that, the filters go away, all the records come back. Okay, the very last thing we're going to do is we're going to save this report because we're finished with it now, and then in the next report we're going to be using multiple tables. We're going to be using the client table and the recruiter table. So to save this, I simply click the Save button up here, and it saves the report I have. Now I can close it, open my navigation pane, there it is again. If I wanted to print this, I just would select it and go up here and say Print, choose my printer, and it'll print that report out for me. Okay, so that's a simple report. That's our clients by city report. In the next lesson we'll be doing that multiple table report.